Shimmer, look at my video. It's funny, guys. Look, it's funny. Look, it's a guy doing the thing. He jumps.
With all of XQC's current shenanigans, I wanted to make a video breaking down how his current behavior can completely shift the reaction commentary community on its head. YouTubers and streamers, while in the same space, have slightly different jobs. While YouTubers often write scripts, film, edit down, and upload more precise videos, a streamer on a site like Twitch has to be interesting and engaging to their audience on the fly, with there being more focus on trying to feel like a buddy that you can hang out with. While this is a generalization, it holds true that these are two different skill sets, with each relying on each other to keep the online creator space alive. But one person that has rocked the industry more than any other in recent times would have to be XQC. Real name Felix, this Canadian-born Overwatch player saw his name rise up through the ranks of the esports world before moving over to being one of the most well-known personalities on Twitch. While known to be part of the quote-unquote poggers community of English-speaking streamers that hit peak prevalence in the COVID era such as Asmongold, Hassan, and Miskiff, his friendship with many of those creators has been called into question due to many antics. For one, the regular gambling on stream split the Loose Collective down the middle, as some called out the content as predatory, considering many young people watch someone like Felix as he was paid by betting sites to play their online slot machines. With the rise of gambling addiction due to the online accessibility factor, people were upset.
Yeah.
Therefore, your profits are your viewers' losses.
Well, it's even more direct than that, because a lot of these
And
guys
it could
had
be-
referral codes they were getting.
Not to mention that it could be addicting, gambling.
Exactly, and it can ruin lives.
While hundreds of popular streamers were in the online gambling world, XQC was one of the most prominent. So when Twitch began to crack down on many of these streams, as well as an increasing animosity towards the site in general, he jumped ship to the competitor Kick for an astronomical $100 million contract. Many still loyal to Twitch weren't happy with the move, as the site has begun seeing the first signs of losing its dominance in the streaming space. Ludwig jumping to YouTube, iShowSpeed signing to Rumble, and now Felix going to Kick could risk the power hold of the Amazon-owned streaming service, which many of the biggest streamers had very good connections with. Many questioned how XQC could secure a payday as big as the likes of LeBron, and accused Kick of being the next Mixer, a site that signed on the once popular Ninja for an absurd amount of money before closing up shop. What many of them are missing is that Kick is backed by Stake.com though, one of the premier online gambling locations. And while live streaming sites have been unprofitable overall, when you're using it as a promotion for your streamers to gamble, the business model makes a lot more sense. In reality, Felix probably wasn't paid that much money to live stream on Kick, but rather it was to gamble there. Other than Blackjack and Overwatch, there is one other key piece of XQC's streams that would get him into trouble that will be focused on today: reactions. At some point along the way, streamers began to watch YouTubers' content live. At first, it was in the context of if they had something to say on the subject, or if chat pushed them to see a clip going viral. But as time went on, the limits started to be pushed. YouTube videos started to be used as nannies to keep chat entertained while the host went to the bathroom or ate a meal. And the VODs started being re-uploaded to YouTube with the original video's titles and thumbnails, now directly competing with the YouTuber's creation. And the worst thing is, some of these same streamers that do this react content have been caught taking down others for doing the very same thing. Most infamously, the time Pokimane shut down the YouTuber Boblax for covering drama that she had gone into on Twitter with Keemstar.
The only way they could have justifiably claimed this by like one of the employees is if Pokey went directly to Omni Media and told them to specifically block and remove my video.
Many of these streamers also hire companies to scrub YouTube for their VODs and claim monetization on videos using their content. This can be seen as hypocritical to say the least. When criticism of reacting content really started bubbling in 2020, most streamers stayed quiet, as they knew their content was not transformative enough to be defended by fair use law. But Felix didn't care about that, and fought with the community head on. Another great React Harder take on live content. It's different content in nature. People want to watch what they wouldn't watch normally and hang out with individuals they enjoy. It's why watch parties are becoming so successful. Incoming but the law's response. Stick to drama, please. The following year, he began threatening to sue the Olympics as he streamed the sporting events on Twitch and was shut down due to not getting permission. While he talked big at the time about their right to react to content in full, things somehow settled down again for 2 years. But when people heard about how much money he was making off the new Kick deal, it renewed interest in the accusation that he made money off the backs of other people's work.
So this all kind of stemmed from the fact that one creator, Bub Film, said Lamina spends months researching, scripting, editing a video just for React streamers to re-upload the entire thing and provide zero input. I said, shame garbage like this fills the recommendations tab, because it does. Now there are some creators that are totally okay with reactive content, some that aren't, but of course the general idea of reactive content, the ones that I've really talked about, is no matter what, if you upload somebody's entire video in full, not only is that incredibly copyright infringing, but because you're stuffing a finite amount of area in the YouTube algorithm and the recommendations engine, you yourself are stifling out other original creators on the platform.
Even with pressure from millions on YouTube and Twitter, he wouldn't back down from his right to watch other people's content in a non-transformative way without permission. He proceeded to go on the H3 podcast to get in an hour-long fight with the host Ethan about the whole ordeal. The debate begins fairly formal, with Ethan introducing his guest and asking him to clarify his position on whether or not he believes in the principle of fair use, which XQC then responds to by stating he tried to create an ecosystem of high-quality reaction content.
But you seem to not care about it, or at least you push it as far as it can go, so you seem like the right person to talk about it with.
I think I value a good live product. Two, I think I'm the right guy because I do a lot of it. I do good reacts, bad reacts, but overall I do a high density of reacts. I do a lot of it. But on top of that, against popular belief, I guess these days, I ask for permission a lot, and I try to make an ecosystem where things are good and not conflictual.
As the two continued to talk, the debate began to heat up. XQC attempted to claim that Ethan was just as guilty as he was, but when he was continuously pressed for an answer as to how they were the same, he seemingly was unable to do so.
So you would say, oh, but dude, it's like a U2 double fault fallacy, right? But in the instance where you try to take the high road and say, well, I don't do this, guys, well, you do. And my next point is that in amount of content that you upload, you're non-reactive, there's actually quite a lot of it.
I don't know what that means. You have to stop saying that. It doesn't mean anything. You're just saying stuff.
Well, I'm saying that...
You're just doing this. You do a lot of this and this. There's no stats. There's no data. I don't even know what you're referring to.
Ethan actually calculated exactly how much XQC contributed to a reaction of a Sunny V2 video, revealing in this specific example that he only added a shocking 40 seconds of commentary, making it almost a one-for-one reaction of the original post. As the debate continued on, Ethan pointed to a recent example of someone who had felt their video had been unfairly reacted to, that being the creator Vince Vintage. Klein proceeded to read off a message from Vince himself, explaining exactly why XQC's style of reaction content can hurt the original creator.
I love big streamers watching, like XQC, Hassan, Mizkif, Moist Critical, watching my videos on their stream. It's a big ego boost, but when XQC does it, it's different. When he watches my video, he always re-uploads the whole thing on his YouTube channel with his insightful commentary as, wow, chat, isn't this crazy? Compared to when Hassan watched my stuff, he shouted me out and he says he loves my stuff and he sent a bunch of subscribers to my channel. A fair exchange. Here's a video, he showed me a video of Hassan doing that. And then he said, XQC, he really just steals my shit, entertains his audience off hundreds of hours I put into my videos while I get just a link in the YouTube description. The problem isn't the reacting, it's the re-uploading of my video with his face on the thumbnail, and also, and I don't DMCA him because I don't want the Twitter drama.
Oh, he doesn't want the Twitter drama.
Wait, why are you, well, hold on, this guy says you stole his why are you denigrating that? I think you should take this seriously.
Well, because one, he's a paid actor, right? Which I think, well, I mean, that's a paid actor, 100%.
Wait, what? What did you say?
Oh, it's a paid actor.
He's a paid actor.
XQC obviously had no idea why other people's reaction content was okay while his wasn't.
Oh my God, it's Jover.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you have anything else interesting to say, so I think we can wrap it up.
Really? Oh, I think your audience thinks I have something interesting to say. It's just the problem is that you're running.
How long do you want me to sit here and listen to you? Watch you crawl around on the ground like a worm? I mean, I have a show to do, dude. Unlike you, I actually organize and put work into my show. I understand for you, you're just burning time. You could sit here for 12 hours. That'd make your life easier. You wouldn't have to go steal videos. But me, I planned this. I have a show. I have a schedule. This has stopped being interesting because you're just sitting there saying silly shit and doing the worm.
To put it lightly, most people took Ethan's side in this argument, with many wondering how it's possible no one had gone after these streamers yet. Many, including myself, were convinced that after years of unabashedly watching other people's content while going to the bathroom or eating a salad, that someone would start taking legal action, but that has somehow not happened yet. In the past, I predicted it would play out like this. A lawyer seeing all the money flowing through this community would start following the top streamers' accounts and watching through their VODs. Whenever they provide nothing in terms of showing commentary during the clip for there to be a case for fair use, they'd reach out to the original content owner and ask if they'd like to demand compensation. This would flip the industry on its head. I'm almost certain this would have happened if it wasn't for one variable that I was missing in the equation, which is that there are strict rules about lawyers not directly soliciting work for new clients with the intent to make money. On top of this, no one in the space wants to piss off this large subset of potential business partners. YouTubers and their management may want to befriend the likes of Hassan or Ludwig at a later point down the road, and demanding money from them for watching a video would immediately get you blacklisted from the live streamer community at large. Because of this, the React Harder situation has just been a ticking time bomb over the past decade. And while most stay quiet to keep things business as usual, Felix has decided to come in with a giant stick and beat the explosive until it blows up in his face, which will be a nightmare once the floodgates open. From personally talking with hundreds of creators, I can confirm there are a lot of YouTubers who are fed up with streamers using their work as content to babysit their audience while they have lunch, but haven't come forward or made a scene because of the aforementioned reason of not wanting to be known as that guy. But all it takes is a few people to make it an industry standard to request money, and the live streaming genre will change forever. This would negatively affect the likes of YouTube Live, Rumble, Twitch, and XQC's home of Kick, who have worked into their business model that streamers can watch all this content for free. And it might even lead to some negative consequences for YouTubers too, as fair use precedents might be set that will allow people to come after them for money as well, making it a lose-lose. For now, no one wants to touch the status quo for this very reason, but XQC might cause an apocalypse where the business of online commentary is flipped on its head.